First of all, if you're not somebody who comes here to watch videos, if you don't like videos where I talk about my internal struggles, what's going on in here, you're not gonna like this video. No, I don't apologize. I'm doing you the service of telling you to come back tomorrow if you don't want to hear about me discuss my overthinking. All right, couple things. As the title suggests, I want to unbox this. This is a camera, okay? And I want to, through the unboxing process, and we're not going to open up the box and show you the little bits and pieces and everything else. I want to unbox this because it'll be for the second time. And in some respects, in some regards, this video is actually kind of harder for me to make than even a video about me going through a divorce. And the reason is because I don't get to hide behind fake interviews. I don't get to script anything out. This is literally just sort of peeling back the curtain and explaining something that I struggle with. And I hesitated before making this, but today being October 24th, I thought it was great timing. So let me just get right into it. I purchased a camera a month ago, and I had ordered the camera, pre-ordered it at some point at the end of July, and it came in at the end of September. I got my pre-order in, I was super stoked, I did a shit ton of research, and I was really excited. And oftentimes what happens is, for me, that will get me like 75% of the way there. And then immediately I'm deflated. If I take possession of it, in this case a camera, and by the way, before I go any further, what I'm describing isn't with every single thing in my life. I don't pontificate over what toothbrush to get or toothbrush head or the color of, the type of dental floss, things like this. It's kind of hits me at times, and I never really know what's going to trigger it. In this case, I can tell you definitively that technology, specifically sort of filmmaking tools, is definitely something that I will research at length because I enjoy it. It's fun. Also because when you're spending money on anything, it's your hard-earned money, it's your dollar, and you want it to go as far as you possibly can. But also because this month has taught me, as I've made videos every day so far, is that needs change. Your process, your creative process changes. Something that was really hard for me 6 months ago, for example, maybe color correcting footage, right? If I shoot some footage of myself and I don't like the color of my skin, being able to quickly go in and tweak that and change that makes my process a little easier. It changes my needs for the tools that I use. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is that how that process for me doesn't really stop, and it's not something I'm proud of, and it's something that I always work at, and I talk to my, the people closest to me have heard me talk about this because I want to be better. And this camera to me kind of represents the things in my life and how I think and want to improve. So I purchased this camera. It came in on September 24th. I took it out of the package. I turned it on. I ran a couple of little tests, went through the menus. Then I took this camera and put it back on my shelf. And I have not shot with it at all this month. A month where I dedicated myself to uploading every single day. It's already October 24th. I don't have that much time left. I have not used this camera yet. Pretty sure that's accurate this month. So the reason for that is after I took possession of it, you'd think the journey's over. End game, that's your destination. What ends up happening is when you take fear of missing out with buyer's remorse and you add in somebody who's prone to overthink at the drop of a hat, which is me, you end up getting somebody that, even if it's the best decision for them, in this case for me, I had researched this purchase at length. I felt really great about it. It felt like it checked almost every single box I would need to make whatever it is I would want to make, personally or professionally, at least for the next couple years. But as technology often does, things advance, competing companies release different products, And it's just enough for me between that, which I'd say is about 15% of the equation, the ever-evolving nature of technology, in this case camera gear, with like 85% of this, which is constantly assessing, was this the right purchase? It's no longer, is it the right purchase? Should I invest in this? It's, did I invest in the right thing? And so I put this on the shelf. I called up B&H Photo. I set up the return. I had the sheet, together. This is a prepaid label going back to them. And I wanted to share this story because this month in particular was super helpful for a person that thinks like I do, because this daily upload challenge or goal or journey that I'm doing this month, I had to stop thinking about this. Did I use the camera? Absolutely not. Am I any closer to mastering it or being better at a better filmmaker using this particular tool? No. But what it also did was kind of allowed me, or should I say, forced me to, which is great for somebody who thinks like me, to compartmentalize a little bit and only think about this once in a while over morning coffee, or maybe at the end of the day, or while a video is uploading, instead of letting it consume me to figure out if I made the right purchase or move for me. And, oh, there's the knife. So I wanted to talk about it, but I also was very hesitant because I do think it's, in a strange way, like I said, I have no problem making and uploading a video about my experience with divorce. For some reason, with the way my mind works and how I think about certain things, it's embarrassing. There was some hesitation today about uploading this or making this because I thought to myself, geez, it's kind of cringy. Certain people won't understand. I mean, hell, if you don't even not even into cameras or whatever, you probably could give a shit or couldn't give a shit. But I will say that I think that more people than I realize can understand thinking that way, because it might not be a camera. For you, it could be a house, a school system, a family vacation, a car, a lawnmower, what to do with your time, where to take the family for the weekend. Like, there's many different things. And I think that, people are just triggered and pinged by different interests, different desires, etc. And I used to think I was all alone in thinking this way. And you might be watching this going, no, dude, you are all alone in thinking this way. You're a nut job. And you are absolutely probably correct and entitled to that opinion. But I will say that I have received a fair amount of feedback on videos that discuss overthinking, self-doubt, fear, a certain level of vulnerability. And a lot of the feedback I get is amazing. And it actually has helped me in the last 2 years. I have not uploaded on this channel frequently at all, the last 20-something days aside. But the feedback that I have received has actually gone a long way in helping me relax a little bit and helping me feel a little bit less alone with how I analyze and overanalyze and overthink things. So what I wanted to do, and like I said, I'm not going to go through all the little bits and bops of this, but I wanted to do this as almost like a celebration, because officially yesterday was the deadline to return this. And I reached a point where a huge weight was like lifted off my shoulders yesterday at the end of the day, and I was super stoked because I don't need to think about this. Not right now, not for a long time. And I'm not going to get into a whole thing about, what matters and the different tools and things that people like to use, whether you're a woodworker or, like I said, a photographer or a filmmaker, whatever. But it just sort of hammered home the point yesterday that not only did the deadline pass that I cannot return this, it was the right purchase for me. I did do my due diligence and my homework. But most importantly, it's what I make with something like this that really matters. And I noticed that in the last few days that I've been journaling a lot of ideas for things I want to make when this month is over. I've loved this experiment. I like a lot the interaction with certain people, but more importantly, the feeling of like knocking something out, hitting upload, whoop, you know, I don't know what whoop is, but of moving forward and realizing that, you know, if this month taught me anything so far, it's uploading so frequently, I'm placing less emphasis on the individual videos themselves. And I'm allowing myself to sort of catch and release these ideas, or even if it's a boring day. And that's very helpful for somebody who thinks this way. And I was just really kind of relieved and excited and oddly proud that yesterday came and went, and I didn't drive to FedEx and hand this back to them because I want to be done with the process. And I think talking about it a little bit, as I said earlier, is uncomfortable for me because I probably am a nut job. But I also think it's important for me moving forward. So that's really what I wanted to do today. For those interested, I don't think anybody watching this probably is. This is the Sony a7S III. It came out this year. It's been a highly anticipated camera, and I am not brand loyal, and so that's for me part of the, you know, the fear of missing out / buyer's remorse. You know, sometimes it could be a $100 item, it could be a $50 item, sometimes it could be a very expensive item, and I don't know when my mind is going to trigger and start asking the questions, and then after the purchase, continue to ask them. And I'm very jealous of people who are able to not only come to a conclusion quickly over something they want to either spend money on or spend their time doing, and then once they do it, they don't think about it again. And I see people like that, and Pearl is one of them in my day in and day out, and I'm just like, oh, what's that like? That must be so great. So that's why I'm making this video today, because I want to be more like that. And yeah, I'm holding myself accountable. That's what this is all about. Shout out to me for not cutting myself. It's really hard to not stick a knife in and want to cut toward me. It's very, I don't know, like trying to bring it in, and it's not safe with a knife. So Pearl is off voting, and I don't know whether to take the camera with me, or I probably will, but we're going to go look at cats today. Listen, I know what you're probably thinking. I'm not a cat guy, but we have humanely trapped a couple of mice here since we've lived here, and it was a really traumatic experience for me. I think anytime you trap these little bastards, we went away once for a week, we came home, there's a mouse in this trap, and there's like, he's covered in peanut butter, because that's what I put in the trap, and his little tail was hanging out of the trap, but like snapped in half because the trap door cut it off. I don't want to deal with that shit. First of all, I'm not touching rodents, okay? So unfortunately, fortunately for me, Pearl had to take care of it. And I like the idea of a roving patrol, getting a feline up in this house, just constantly on patrol. And I know what you're probably thinking, but it's going to bite the heads off and leave them at the foot of your bed. I don't give a shit, all right? I'll gladly pick up the mess to have a little, you know, little armed patrol with his little claws making moves in the house and keeping these rodent bastards out of here. All right, that's it. Oh, real quick, someone left a comment on the last video as to why I would purchase food coloring, you know, added chemicals when I go out of my way not to eat chemicals. This is not for ingesting. This is for a shoot that I'd like to try tonight, copying a video idea that I've seen all over the place on YouTube, kind of more, again, commercial vibe. So food coloring, the syringe that we showed yesterday, all sorts of bits and bops, the dental floss, fish tank. So yeah, I'm just going to have a little fun with it later. Anyway, long story short, I'm a lunatic. I will not be eating food coloring, and I love you.